because it's just jam-packed. It's just, it's so crazy.
I'll try to get through the slides quick so we can have questions.
I think a lot of people are more into me. People love asking me. And you know what's interesting is I think a lot, as I mentioned to you, it just amazes me how really cool. I don't think we've got anybody joining us, so I think it's just going to be us up here, so we're good unless Mitch is going to come. Maybe they put Mitch up here. I have no idea. No idea. Nobody tells me anything.
We're able to scalp.
Oh, Mitch is, it's Mitch's birthday. Of course he's up here. Okay, I guess we're going to get started. Man, that was a pretty nice bang. So, fellow Rotarians, whether you're visiting us in person or you're joining us virtually, thank you for being here. We're going to start off with the pledge and song. We've got Bruce Ayers is going to come up, who joined our club in May of this year. Classification is Community and Social Services, the TMC Foundation. He's a graduate of the Community College of the Air Force and also Columbia Southern University. After leading us in the pledge, he's going to lead us all in the singing of America the Beautiful, along with Chris Dodge, who will be playing Jen the piano. Bruce, come on up. Here comes Bruce.
Good afternoon, everyone. I took notes. I've done this a million times, but just in case, we're not going to forget the Pledge of Allegiance today. You ready?
Yeah.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. And then I'm going to lip sync the song. So.
Thank you. Next up, great job, Bruce. Next up, our inspiration. Mitch Pease's going to lead us in that. I'm not going to tell you much about him because it's also going to be announcing later with his birthday. Mitch.
Hey, Mitch. Yes, sir. A chain is only as strong as its weakest link. A team is only as successful as its weakest player. A Rotary Club is only as impactful as its weakest efforts. Let's talk about the Pareto principle, commonly referred to as the 80-20 principle. In an organization, roughly 80% of the outcomes come from 20% of the efforts. What most people fail to realize is this is a principle, it's not a rule. It's not a foregone conclusion. We as a club could be even better. How does this sound? How about if 80% of our members make 80% of the effort? Let's all of us in this room inspire each other to inspire the people who aren't in this room to give what they can, to give what they used to. Prospective members are vetted before they're allowed to join this club. Except for yours truly, you've done a fantastic job keeping out the riffraff. Now, Mark lowered the standards last year and allowed me in. The club quickly learned its lesson and have since restrained Mark from again breaching his fiduciary responsibilities, and as punishment, he's being banished from the presidency in 22 days. There are very specific reasons individuals initially decide to join the Rotary Club of Tucson. One of the key reasons is a desire to give back to our community. In the beginning, they believed in our mission of philanthropy, service, and generosity. For those who are not currently active, something happened, something changed, something transpired withdue from them since they joined our club. Too many have lost their desire, lost their passion, lost their sense of community, lost their belief in what we stand for. Imagine how even more powerful, generous, impactful we would be if 80% of our club enthusiastically devoted a reasonable amount of time to working together for the common good. Most everyone here knows people who used to be active who have now gone dormant. Let's reach out to them. Let's remind them why they joined. Let's share with them how much we want to see them. Let's implore them that we miss them. Let's remind and share and implore with them how much we need their help. If we communicate with sincerity and compassion versus reprimand and guilt, it'll make a difference. A big, important, positive difference. We either hang together or we'll be hung separately. With over 230 members giving what they can, doing what they can, helping how they can, we'll be unstoppable. Have no doubt we have even greater greatness ahead of us than behind us.
Mitch, thank you. So we've got a couple of sad announcements, and I don't want everybody standing up for all of it. So I would like everybody, if you don't mind, go ahead and sit down and make yourself comfortable. But also ask that you be respectful for just a couple minutes and maybe refrain from chatter and what have you. So I want to start off, if I might, just reminding everybody that, well, first off, we've got 5 things we're going to talk about that have happened that aren't very positive. We're going to call for a moment of silence at the very end, but I want to start off by just reminding you this is day 103 since Russia decided they were going to invade Ukraine and try to destroy that company. And again, I think with the help of the free world, they will not be successful. Second, just hearts out to Jason Flack, brand new member. His dad just recently passed, and I think Jason's with us today. I thought I saw him walk in, but if you know Jason, please reach out and just some sympathy, if you would, some condolences. It's public now. George Larson's wife, Margaret, is in stage 4 cancer, and she's undergoing chemotherapy. Please keep her in your thoughts and prayers. She's probably the most positive person that I think I know. And then finally, I've asked past President John Wong to come up because we've got a couple of special tributes. One to Sally Rollins, Don's mom, and then the other one to Len Dittmanson, who just recently passed away a couple weeks ago. John?
Sally Bacon Rawlings, born 1927, Detroit, Michigan, at Henry Ford Hospital. She arrived Tucson as a teenager and went to Tucson High School, where she met a young man, Kelly Rawlings. She took college classes at the University of Arizona and at the University of Michigan. She was always an enthusiastic learner and had a memory that was fail-safe. She married Kelly Rawlings in 1948 and had their first child, Don, shall I say the year? 1952. Don was devotedly involved in providing care for both his parents for the last 10 years. Kelly passed in 2018. Sally left peacefully May 28th. Leonard Len Dittmanson, 1958 to 2022. His father was an orthopedic surgeon who devoted his career to medical missionary work in Asia. His father had been associated with Rotary International, and Len understood and appreciated from an early age the value of, quote, service above self. For most of his young life, he was in Taiwan, where he grew up fluent in the Mandarin Chinese language. He used this skill later when he was invited to educate physicians in China. He became an excellent physician, specializing in internal medicine, and was so service-oriented he could not say no. So, back when many HIV/AIDS patients were coming around. A lot of physicians did not want to take care of them, but Len stepped up and did so. He also gave rides to patients who had no way to return home. He volunteered as medical director for El Tour de Tucson cycling event and as a physician for Major League Baseball during spring training. He also unselfishly served his profession in numerous capacities. In fact, it was in his capacity as president of Arizona Medical Association that he did the program for our Rotary Club in 2006, talking about the availability of healthcare options in Arizona. It was during that meeting that I asked him to become a Rotary member. He was enthusiastic about the idea, but could not at the time because of commitments. So in 2015, he did join us. He was very active until a couple of years later when professional demands required significant time away for traveling. He reluctantly resigned last year, 2021. Truly, his life was devoted to service above self. May he rest in peace.
John, thank you. I just asked if we could take a moment of silence to recognize not just the brave Ukrainians fighting for their country, but also reflect on the recent passing of David, Sally, and Len. Moment of silence, please. Thank you. Cards are circulating around the room. Please take a moment to jot folks a note, and also keep Margaret in your thoughts and prayers as she fights the fight. Let's enjoy some lunch. I'm going to ask one last thing, if I might, before lunch. If the following people are here, if you would please stand up. Jonathan Walker, Jason Flax, James Garrett, Sandra Soleil, Tom McKinney, and Raymond Smith. Ray Smith, are you here? So this is kind of a new, cool thing. This is the first time I think we've ever introduced 6 members. I had the opportunity today to sign 6 brand new Join the Club members. Welcome. Glad you're here. Please enjoy your lunch. We'll be back in a bit.
second, Gary. Gary Olson. Magic fingers. It's good to be here.
I didn't write that.
Uh-huh. I could tell. I could tell.
You help people relax, which is probably what they need.
So that's the big part.
It's so stressed. And self-care is the last thing we do, usually, right? And so, and that's
That's the most important. I'll give you that. What do you do that would make other things more important? What can I do today that would make other things not even needed? That's so great about what you do. You could ask all your clients that. What could you do today that would make other things not even needed?
I keep him with the firefighter. So yeah, I'll come home and be like, hey, we're just freaking impact. Hey, I don't know what you're talking about. Everyone's stabbing each other. You know, and so we meet in the middle somewhere. Life is that way. I work so I see them. All many nonprofits too. Yeah, we're trying to help all the nonprofit sector. So I work with
Even though Chris Dodge does not want me to get back started again, I'm going to go ahead and get started because Chris is going to introduce all our guests and visitors. I think you know he joined our club in February of 2020. Our pal Bob Logan brought him on. Classification Entertainment Music, Chris Dodge Entertainment, proud graduate of the University of Arizona, to introduce our guests. Chris.
So when I announce you, stand up so we can say hello. And the person who brought you, stand up as well. So, guest of Brittany Battle, say hello to Rob Petrich. Hi, Rob. Guest of Jeff Hotchkiss, say hello to Don Reiger. Hi, Don. Wherever you are. There you are, over there. And guest of John Wong, say hello to Larry and William Kent. Hi, Larry and William. And another one, guest of John Wong, say hello to Elizabeth Fryman. Hi, Elizabeth. And guest of Steve Pickering, say hello to James and Janice Erickson. They're right there. Hi, guys, from Minnesota. And, or Minnesota. That's funny. Not really. And say, guest of Margaret Higgins, say hello to Leroy Godfrey. Hi, Leroy. And that's all I have, President Mark. It's all yours.
So not to make a shout out to anybody in particular, but my CPA is sitting right there. That's Mr. Kent. That's his son, William. And if you don't like me in the club, it's his fault. That was my sponsor. So in case you care about that. So, John, stay after him. He needs to join. Don't get him. Get William. We're after youth and good looks. Let's get William. So this is that time where we jump into our program, so please direct your attention to the big screens, and we're going to enjoy a special keynote introduction of our speaker, Jack Clements, and the Tucson Conquistadores by our buddies, Rick Rose at Film Creations and Matt Russell with Russell Public Media. Switcher team, can you run that video for us?
Jack Clements founded the Clements Insurance Agency in 2000, a group of brokers and independent agents licensed in 40 states. In 2020, the Clements Agency merged into Hub International, a global insurance brokerage company providing an array of property, casualty, risk management, life and health insurance, employee benefits, investment, and wealth management products. But today, Jack isn't here to talk about insurance. He's here to tell us about the Tucson Conquistadores, a tax-exempt organization dedicated to supporting Southern Arizona youth athletic programs. Most Tucsonans know that the Conquistadores have a huge annual fundraiser, one just recently held at Keno Ballpark. But the organization also co-sponsors the huge Cologuard Classic Golf Tournament, which brings professional players and golf fans to town from all over the world. In addition to their involvement with professional golf and their annual party, the group has established the Tucson Conquistadores Foundation. The foundation's goal is to build an endowment that will generate a minimum of $1 million per year to support youth programs. The advantages of an endowment are obvious. It is perpetual and will provide permanent annual support. Key beneficiaries of the Conquistadors' fundraising efforts include numerous Southern Arizona youth athletic programs, First Tee Tucson, and colon cancer advocacy organizations. Jack is here to tell us more about the Conquistadors and their efforts. So let's have a charitable Rotary welcome for Jack Clements.
That took care of about half of my slides. Just want to first say I'm really honored to speak to the Rotary group. It's only the second time in my life I've had that privilege. The first time was to the Rotary Club of Tucson, Kansas, and I just returned as a senior in high school from Boise State in Kansas. So hopefully this will be a little bit better presentation. I also want to congratulate you on your 100th anniversary, just concluding that year. And the other thing I want to say about Rotary is that all of that time I've always really admired the motto of service above self and the pledge to live the four-way test. I think it's just really wonderful. Anyway, again on your 100th anniversary, congratulations. As it so happens, it is the 60th anniversary of the Tucson Conquistadores. And we put together a slide, or not a slideshow, a video for that anniversary that I thought we'd kick off with.
The Conquistadors were formed in 1963, and we were going to take over the Tucson Open.
Well, Conquistadors are a bunch of businessmen, people here in Tucson that have really put Tucson golf on the map.
The Conquistadors basically saved the Tucson Open.
Getting people to come to Tucson was not easy to do.
Not very many flew in 1971.
We'd fly over to Palm Springs and we'd go over there and recruit players to come to Tucson. Anything to build a field so the tournament was given the notoriety that it deserved.
Our aim was to get it televised to promote Tucson. We had Jack Nicklaus and Gary Player.
Ben Crenshaw, Tom Watson, Payne Stewart, Johnny Miller won 3 years in a row. Arnie's Army in 1967. He came to little old Tucson and played and won it when he was at the height of his power.
Phil Mickelson won his first professional event on the PGA Tour as an amateur.
It seemed like the center of the golf universe then.
The Conquistadors took over golf in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and now PGA Tour champions, and it's never missed a beat.
I had heard about the Conquistadors way before I showed up in Tucson. The tour actually tried to make them a best practice. They're volunteers with a purpose, and they're the hardest workers I know.
As Conquistadors, we're proud to be able to point very specifically at local impact that we're having. All of the dollars raised have stayed in Southern Arizona.
They've raised millions and millions of dollars for kids, for sports.
The First Tee of Tucson is one of our hallmark opportunities that we've been really at the very core of and are still to this day.
It's a credit to the Tucson Conquistadors for establishing a First Tee here in Southern Arizona.
And we've watched kids' lives change by going through those programs.
When you're involved with the First Tee, you're kind of involved with something bigger than yourself.
I couldn't imagine what my life would be like without the First Tee in my life.
I think we're at 9 locations now. We're serving over 1,200 kids.
I first joined when I was 13. Now I'm 21. Coaching. It just feels great to try and give back to the community that helped raise me to be what I am now.
To be able to look back now and having some of those even First Tee kids be part of our organization is a testament to what we've done.
Thank you, First Tee.
Thank you, Tucson.
Thank you, Conquistadors.
Here's to the past 60 years.
And here's to the next 60.
That was good.
I also want to say how proud I am to have been a member of this organization for 39 years now, be 40 years next year. And I was going to say, until I saw all my Centurion buddies here, it's my favorite organization. So, but yeah, I know. Thanks, Tim. And Diana, before I start, I didn't put a slide in on Marathon Marketing's amazing impact on the Tucson Open and the Conquistadores over the years, but it was. So I think Fred said on the video that it was 63. I'm told it's 62, but the Conquistadores were not even named yet when Roy Drachman and 40 others formed a sports booster organization. They wanted to get something going in Tucson to support all kinds of different sports. I don't think they even knew it was going to be golf at that point. Mr. Drachman was the first president, and at this point in the organization, we are on our fourth generation of Drachmans. Phil Drachman, Boyd's son, is recently a new member. The two of the three living charter members were in that video, Freddie and Chuck Pettis. Buck wasn't, but those are our three remaining members from the very beginning. Our membership is by invitation only. It's evaluated by a committee. Right now we have 56 active members out of a total of 60 spots and a total of 224 members. All of the members are required to participate and sales are required. At this point, we have three categories of members, life, senior, and active. The life members contributed this year in the most recent tournament 1/3 of the total sales. So the guys are staying active. The mission really is to support youth athletics with an emphasis on underprivileged youth. At this point, the Conquistadores have donated to all the various causes about $37 million. These are some of the recipients. I'll talk about First Tee a little more. We talked about First Tee in the video, but we'll get back to that. Sporting Chance, we gave $500,000 to build that facility. Boys and Girls Club, of which Mark is very involved, has been a beneficiary on a number of occasions. In fact, Mark told me, or reminded me, that all of the basketball courts in the Boys and Girls Clubs are named after the Conquistadores. Special Olympics, we have each tournament week we have a tournament for the Special Olympics kids, hitting balls, playing with the pros, and putting contest. We spend, I think we give about $30,000 a year to Special Olympics, and we've done a lot of capital things for the YMCA. In addition to that, a lot of sports teams, soccer teams, baseball. We contribute to those organizations both for equipment and for travel. If a team achieves a level where they need to go to a tournament across the country and they need money, we'll chip in. What we do with those people, though, is we ask them to raise part of the money and we'll match what they raise. Just kind of historical, the very first activity that this sports group did was a sports award banquet in '63. It was held at the old Pioneer Hotel, and it was $12.50 for a plate. In 1966, the Tucson Golf Association, whose chairman was Ricky Rarick, had struggled for 11 years to run the Tucson Open, and we made an agreement with the Tucson Golf Association at that point to take over the Tucson Open. Included in that agreement was an agreement with Ricky to continue the junior golf program within the Tucson community. And in '72, I think the video talked about this as well, the Tucson Open was the first nationally televised sporting event from Tucson. Along the way, we've had some celebrity hosts, which were a lot of fun. Some of you may have been out there in these days, but Dean Martin from '72 for, I think, 3 years, and he was affiliated with NBC. who was the network that would broadcast at that time, was our celebrity host. Then Joe Garagiola took over in '77. In '94, John Denver was our celebrity pro-am host, and in addition to filling that spot, he did a concert over at Pima College for the benefit of the Boys and Girls Club that raised $40,000, which was quite a bit of money in those days. Another activity the Conquistadors had for a while was tennis. In '72 and '73, the Virginia Slims tennis tournament was here on an indoor carpet court. Billie Jean King won the first event, and for years after that, tournaments were still held at the Tucson Racket Club. The foundation was mentioned prominently in the video as well, but the goal is to generate a corpus that will ensure that we can give at least $1 million a year to all of these activities that we want to support. Obviously, that's going to be variable based on returns, but we're building that. We're building that foundation. All of you are invited to donate if you feel so. The donations include cash, appreciated stock, other assets, and a lot of it comes from the individual members of the Tucson Conquistadors, including some planned giving. First Tee is our primary beneficiary. It was talked about in the video. It's really a wonderful program. And this language here is from the website for the First Tee, but it builds game changers by empowering the kids and teens through golf. Really what we want to do is build community leaders for the future. Enables the kids to build the strength of character. The real interesting part about it is most people think the First Tee is all about golf. It's all really about building life skills in these young people, and golf is strictly the vehicle that we use to help build those life skills. Experiences build inner strength, self-confidence, and resilience. The video said 9 locations. We're just about to open the 10th location on base at DM. Junior golf is just part of the First Tee program. That's what I was mentioning. It's really the vehicle that we use. The kids learn life skills that stay with them. For example, understanding and managing emotions, resolving conflicts, setting up step-by-step goals, planning for the future, and appreciating diversity. One of those principles in the lower right-hand corner is respect. Whoop, I went too fast. Right now, the Tucson Open has a title sponsor. Exact Sciences is the parent company. Their company, Cologuard, sponsors the Cologuard Classic. They provide the platform for us to have our tournament and our tournament-based fundraising. Next year, the tournament is February 27th to March 5th, and it's at Omni Tucson National, and we can certainly use the support of all of you and all of the community to keep growing the tournament and to allow us to give more and more money to the charities. It's all about the kids is our motto. So I wanted to get through those quickly in case anybody had questions.
I got a question. So, you know, I was around in '94 when Diana was really involved then. It was bringing John Denver into town, and I happened just by happenstance to be the board president there and had a little bit of fun with John Denver. But I've always wondered, you guys have never said no to anything I think Boys and Girls Clubs ever asked you. Are we not asking for enough, or what's up with that?
I think you ask in the right way, and I think you ask for the right things because it is all about the kids, and that's what you are choosing to serve, and it's the demographic of young people that we want to serve as well. So what I would say, Mark, is that was kind of a softball, wasn't it? that we really align well as organizations in terms of what we're trying to do for young people and to build leadership and to keep kids growing in a positive way. John?
Jack, how much of your proceeds come from your Color sponsor, and how much comes from the Tucson community?
I'm going to struggle with those numbers, John, but I think a good portion of the purse comes from Cologuard, and then a lot of that then goes to the players. Most of what goes to our charities comes from the community. It's really, as I mentioned, Cologuard provides the platform to us to raise money for the charities that we serve.
Another question.
I was just wondering, it's a beautiful location, having it at the Omni. Is it going to stay there?
It's a good question. It's a hot topic right now. We have a contract for 1 more year to be at the Omni. There are other people that are trying to attract us to different locations, and it's kind of all up in the air right now. It depends on any other venues having a PGA Tour quality golf course to be able to stage the event. Hate to be obscure, but yeah, there are other things under consideration. But we have 1 more year. We'll be at the Omni next year.
Fantastic.
How much is your foundation up to now?
You know, I don't know. I think it's 6 or 7 million. I saw another hand somewhere.
I think that might.
David over here.
I think that might be it for questions.
We got one over here. David Levitt got a question.
Oh, David Levitt. Yeah.
Well, good question, David. When we were on the regular PGA Tour, the numbers were a lot bigger, and we generally were able to give about $1 million away to the community. Since we've been on this Champions Tour, it's about $500,000. But as I mentioned earlier, we're trying to get that up. So if you all buy more packages and more tickets, we'll be able to give more. But we're also want to supplement that with the foundation and the income from the foundation. And that's also our safety net in case there's ever a year when we don't have a golf tournament or something happens. Michael?
Jack, knowing sometimes the fickle nature of sports, you've had tennis, you've had golf in a variety of different forms. Is there discussions within the organization about what the future looks like, and maybe other events, other types of sports, or what happens after Champions League? Hopefully not, but talks about maybe doing something else.
Well, we talk about that continuously. Right now, we're committed to golf and the Champions Tour. We would like to get back on the regular tour at some point, which would take us in the other direction from what you're talking about. Who knows whether that's ever going to be possible, but right now we're committed to golf. But the second part of the answer is, again, the foundation. That'll give us our safety net. But if we lose golf for whatever reason, if the PGA Tour decides that Tucson is not the right market for professional golf, then we'll do something else. What that's going to be is probably what's available at the time.
Yeah, could you talk about First Tee and what the program is? What's the age range of kids? When do they start? What do they do? How often do they go, etc.?
A lot of it is summer based. The kids, I think, go down to 5 or 6 years old. You can remain active into your early 20s. I think the young man in the video was in his early 20s. And they can go as often as they want. They have to pledge, the kids have to pledge to follow the rules and to learn golf etiquette and practice learning the life skills. How often do they go? They can go as often as they want, especially in the summertime when they're out of school.
By the way, if you go by the Boys and Girls Club and you go into one of the gymnasiums, you look down the floor, and that's exactly what it'll say, Conquistador Court. And that's something that the Boys and Girls Club did, not because they were asking for anything. They weren't asking for anything. They were just trying to say thank you. So I think the club is really good at doing that, and this club is as well. So Jack is going to sign a book, and I think this is so appropriate. I don't know how Drina and Carrie do this. Check that out. That's a pretty good book. Yeah, A Perfect Day for Golf. So we're going to hop into that time where we're going to have a little bit of birthdays, and we're going to start off with Tom Bolton. His birthday was on May 22nd. He's been hiding from us. Joined our club in May of 2017. Classification is Community and Social Services, Southern Arizona Attractions Alliance, and he's a graduate of Adrian College. So here's some interesting stuff. Did you know that Tom was mentored by the Kiwanis through college, and as a result became an institutional Circle K Collegiate Division Kiwanis Vice President? That's a mouthful. Which actually springboarded him to be the youth representative advisor for the National Multiple Sclerosis Society, all before he was 21. Why did Tom join? Because literacy was important to him, and he appreciated that's what our club focused on. He stays because of the type of folks he's met while he's been here, as he calls them, caring, good people and community leaders. And what's he going to do to make us better? Well, Tom's going to make our club better by sharing programs and results with his circle of tourism folks. Tom.
Thank you, Mark, and thank you especially all the past presidents since I've been a member. The presidents really take a keen interest in new members. So Mark and Bob and many of the others that I've been here. I haven't been here that long, but I do want to thank Jack Camper and Art Alice for continuing to invite me to the club. And finally, when I retired 5 years ago, it was time for me to kind of give back to the community. So I want to thank all of you. You are a great bunch of folks, and really, what's kept me here is the caring of everybody that's here. So thank you all. And I do have a check. There you go.
Check that out. You made it payable, not to me, though. What happened to that? Next up, birthday. Gary Olson. His birthday, June 10th, so he's got a little bit to go. Joined our club in June of 2017, classification medical and healthcare, family wellness. He owns Satillo Equity Company, and check this out. Did you know that he invests, I'm not sure this makes sense to me, so you guys got to figure this out. He invests in the cattle business to heal the soil, watershed, and the planet. There you go. Gary's going to explain that. 2, he was introduced by the club by Yvonne Irvin, who, as we all know, couldn't spell her name correctly, and we miss her dearly. Gary stays because of the people. And he's going to make our club better by showing up, staying involved, and being himself. Gary.
Hello. I so appreciate being here and appreciate you guys. Thank you very much.
So what do we like to say? Be brief, be bright, be gone. He got an A+. I'm just saying that. Mitch Pizik. So Mitch joined our club in Mitch was born on June 18th. He joined our club in March of 21. Classification is business services, business consulting. He owns Pizik Consulting Group, and he's a University of Arizona graduate. And I'm proud to be a sponsor. Anyway, did you know that he earned much of his college tuition by winning darts tournaments? However, he lost most of his college tuition playing in poker tournaments, so it kind of like netted out there a little bit. He joined Rotary because he loved our enthusiasm, loved the impact of philanthropy, and the anticipated quality of the whiskey he thinks he's going to get to drink in our new whiskey social. Mitch stays because he believes in the quality of the whiskey he's going to be drinking at the new Rotary Whiskey Social. And he's going to make us better by continuing to be highly involved as an advocate for our amazing club in his actions and the greatest positive impact he can have in our beautiful city. Mitch.
I've always found it curious that people lie about their age and say they're younger than they are. then they look terrible for their stated younger age. Not me. I have a different strategy. You got to admit, I look damn good for a 78-year-old. Oh, by the way, like many of you here, I didn't have any gray hairs until I met Mark, which for me was about 8 years ago when I was about 84 years old. Well, now that I'm well into my 90s, I want to be sure that I just want to make sure that I get happy memories, as I always do, hanging around with all of you, if I remember correctly. And let's not fool ourselves. Aging gracefully is a nice way of saying you're slowly looking worse. And I'm pleased to give a donation to the scholarship fund.
Mitch, thank you. We're going to hop into a Paul Harris Fellow presentation. Actually, we have a couple of them. I'm going to welcome up Scott, and he is going to make a presentation. Actually, two presentations. What do you not know about Scott? Scott, what do you want us to tell them about you? Joined our club in September 2001, classification retired finance media, Arizona Public Media, 89th president back in 2009 and 10. And again, he's got two Paul Harris Fellows presentations. To Diana and to John, by the way, I brought them both to the club.
All right.
Good Rotarians.
Yeah, you did. Well done on that, I'll tell you. Very nice. Well, here they are. Today, we honor two of our members who are receiving their Paul Harris Fellows for their commitment to worldwide work of, well, that's hard to say, worldwide work of the Rotary. And their pins are gleaming, their certificates are with them, and they show recognition and appreciation from Rotary International. Diana Medeiros was born in Philly and raised in New Jersey, educated at Douglas College, Rutgers University, and then to the University of Arizona for her graduate work. And then for 18 years, she worked in sports marketing. Marathon Marketing was her company. And she was engaged in promoting and marketing major national sporting events, as you've already heard a little bit about today. Well, then, as you know, Diana developed a new passion around painting. She's one of the few artists who also owns her own gallery. For 22 years, the Medeiros Gallery has been filled with treasures, and you better go there. And as you know, her work has become synonymous with Tucson and the Southwest. She continues to earn regional and national acclaim for her art, and her work is included in the best watercolor and best acrylic paintings in America. Many of us, Diana, have you on our walls and have your picture on our credit card. Diana also has been recognized for her many charitable contributions in the community. For example, she enables worthy nonprofits to raise funds by auctioning her art at their events. She has another passion, and that's for animals. Diana is the founder of Art for Animals, an organization that helps injured and homeless animals. And earlier this year, Diana spoke from here to us about her work in this area. Art for Animals is raising enough money to hire full-time veterinarians at the Tucson Wildlife Center. Diana joined our club just last year, and her initial support is impressive, especially for the centennial year, those events, and the Classics Car Show. She brings experience in fundraising, PR, marketing, and retail, and earlier this week, she announced to the Car Show Leadership Group that she will head up the retail booth at our October event, and will include new types of clothing and other items with greater appeal to women. So here's what Diana says about why she supports Rotary. I am proud to be a part of an organization that has worldwide impact. It demonstrates that when individual efforts are combined, we can change the world. My heart goes out, she says, to the Ukrainian people who are innocent victims of an unconscionable assault. I wanted to help in some way, but didn't know how, and I'm grateful that Rotary International provided that channel. Diana, congratulations on your Paul Harris. Now, John Duvall was born in Pasadena, grew up in the LA area, earned his BS in biological sciences from the University of California, Irvine, as well as his master's degree in business administration from there. He and Valley have been married 43 years. John is a career academic medical center administrator. Here's what that means. John is the former CEO of Virginia Commonwealth University Hospitals and Clinics in Richmond and was vice president for clinical services for Virginia Commonwealth University. John is a senior scholar in residence for the ACGME, which we all know is the Accreditation Council for Graduate Medical Education. So he served in the VA for the last 5 years on the Veterans Administration's National Academic Affiliation Council. He currently serves on, this is the one I can pronounce, the La Frontera Board of Directors and Executive Committee. Now, before he joined Virginia Commonwealth University Health System, he served as Arizona Medical Center as CEO. And before coming to Tucson, he held executive leadership roles in the University of Colorado Health Sciences Center and the University of California, Irvine Medical Center. How'd you like all that? Okay, pretty good, huh? So John's been very active in serving his industry and his community wherever he lived as board chair for the ACGME, you remember what that is, and the Richmond Industry Roundtable of the Federal Reserve Bank in Richmond, and on the board of Boys and Girls Clubs in both Metro Richmond and in Tucson. He's a lifetime fellow in the American College of Healthcare Executives. Last year, John came back to the Rotary Club of Tucson after a lengthy absence. He supports Rotary International because they tackle difficult problems through building collaboration and common purpose amongst a community of nations. Congratulations, John Duvall, on your Paul Harris. But wait, there's more. Just a minute, I have to see if more is still there. Oh, yes. So, in the tradition of giving something of little or no value, we have the following. For you, Diana, we have a gently used Rotary work shirt, so you'll be ready for the car show. And for you, John, since your Rotary bio indicates that you like to roam used bookstores, here is a gift certificate from Bookman's. Now let's hear it for our
Happy birthday. Good job. Good job.
Scott, that was just a great introduction. That was just really, really fun for two very dear friends. We're going to move on to a really fun thing, and this is an introduction of a new member. Here to introduce a new member is welcome up Pat Patton. Pat was a member of our club it's back in September of 04 till April of 10, and then he needed to step away. He's rejoined us in May of 18. His classification is in economic development, retired. He's a graduate of two great Texas universities. One's not SMU, I'm sorry. Texas Tech and Texas A&M, that's not bad. He's a total overachiever and Thunderbird College as well. And he's off the charts in helping us with Switcher Studio. Pat.
Thank you. Mark, I want to thank you for all your service this year. It's been a great year under you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I got to find my notes here. I'm extremely excited to introduce Brittany Battle. I've had a lot of fun getting to know Brittany. She's a very interesting person. She's very enthusiastic. She's very service-oriented. She is already the president of the Edge High School Board of Directors. She is also very active in Tucson Young Professionals. She graduated with a psychology degree from the University of Arizona. She is currently program manager for Social Venture Partners. Social Venture Partners provides venture capital for local nonprofits, and one of her major duties is to coordinate the fast pitch competition. I don't know if you guys have ever been there, but I went this year. It was an amazing competition. We got tremendous nonprofits in this town that are doing incredible things, and it was just wonderful seeing her in action. For all of her polish and refinement, she's actually a country girl at heart. She and her husband live in Sonoita, and they're raising 2 children down there, very close to the U.S. and Mexico border. And people don't know this about her looking at her, but her hobbies are fishing, ranching, and music. Now, I'm trying to picture going down to her ranch and watching her drive that tractor and mend the fences. But in any event, that's what she likes at heart, but she is very, very refined. And I would like you to please welcome Brittany Battle to the club.
I'm gonna try to be brief, bright, and be gone. My grandfather was mayor of this city for 16 consecutive years in the 70s and 80s. And most people knew him as Mayor Lou Murphy, but he was just Panta to me. And he loved this city. And I think more importantly, he loved the people in this city, and it drove everything that he did and all the decisions he made. And I grew up knowing my own worth, but more importantly, knowing everybody else's worth. And knowing that I had to get to know myself in order to put service above it, and knowing that together we can make generational impact. And I think my grandfather laid the foundation for me to stand before you today. And I'm committed to doing the same for your grandchildren and for everybody else's grandchildren to be up here and do the same thing. I believe we can heal and unite our community, which is why I work at Social Venture Partners. I feel like I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm so grateful for it, and I really enjoy my life. Have to pinch myself every now and then that this is the life that I get to live. What keeps me up at night? Outside of my day job and trying to help build solutions, what keeps me up at night is at-risk youth. Like, that's my thing. We have the 4th highest rate of dropouts in the state of Arizona. 18,000 students dropped out in the last 2 years. What's going on with that? Why? Why is a state that's rich in resources have a disconnection between those that need it the most? So I'm trying to bring all that together. Mark, when you step down from your role as president, I actually step up as the role of president for Edge High School in July, and I'm really proud of that. This is a school that helps to re-engage youth that have dropped out, and that knows that what makes kids unique is what makes them matter. I believe in relationship building. That's why I'm here today. I'm looking for mentorship opportunities as I take on this leadership role. I'm looking for board members that want to roll up their sleeves and do some work. I'm looking for people that are going to stop and take the time to listen to youth. I'm also here for a couple people. Jim Murphy brought me here. Zach Yenser was standing on this very stage, and he asked a question that I'd like to answer. He said, "Who's going to fill these seats?" I'm looking around, and I think the people that should fill these seats aren't here, and those are those that need it the most. The young people, the ones that need the opportunities, that need to see it. They need to hear from you. They need to hear your experiences. Pat Patton never gave up on me. Where are you, Pat? When I was really hard to get a hold of and really busy. Mitch came to my work at Social Venture Partners just to listen and to ask me questions. I really appreciate that. And Charlotte Harris sealed the deal. She wrote me a handwritten letter. I love people. I love relationship building. Meet me afterwards. Rob Petrovich is here at the red table in the red shirt. He's the principal of Edge High School. So if you want to learn more about what we're doing, come find me. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
A gal that fishes and rides horses. Now we're talking. So, we started our centennial year with a commitment I made that we were going to try to do every single meeting a history moment. And I can tell you I've gotten really educated with the history moments, and I just would like to see a show of hands maybe of who's enjoyed them. Yeah. Thank you. Who would like to see them continue? Very cool. Thank you. Probably nobody better, maybe other than Charlotte, to call up, but I'd like to ask John Wong to come up and share a history moment with us. John joined our club in February of '83, classification medical healthcare, orthopedics, Tucson Orthopedic Institute. He's a graduate of? No, Princeton. Oh, you guys, I'm just shocked you didn't get that. He was our club's 86th president during 2006 and 2009, and he has worked on my knees, and hopefully he did yours too. John.
Yay. Thank you, Mark. Okay, this is a history moment. It's an educational opportunity. And we all know that in education, repetition is the mother of retention. Slide. So, little review. Who's that? And what did he do? Started Rotary. Next slide. Where did he go to college? Who else went there? Next slide. Next slide. Okay, these are the first 4 members in 1905 of Rotary, the first 4 members. Next slide. Their objectives were 2, to promote their own businesses and to promote good fellowship. Next slide. By 1906, they realized they needed to do more. Next. We must perform civic service. Next slide. What was their first project? They built a urinal on one of the main streets downtown Chicago. Vitally necessary for people my age. Next slide. Okay. By 1917, the president of Rotary, Arch Klump, decided to expand our horizons to world service. Next slide. So that was the beginning of the Rotary Foundation, the Rotary Foundation of Rotary International. Next. So why should we contribute to Rotary, the Rotary Foundation? It's one of the world's most effective, cost-effective charities, and I'll explain that in detail later. The projects to be funded are selected by Rotarians who live and work where that project is located. And we as Rotarians connect with those Rotarians. There's no middleman or agency between us. So we are Rotarians to Rotarians. There's no political or religious barriers to what we do. Next. Charity Navigator is an independent 501c3 organization that rigorously investigates charities. I hope you all know about it, because if you have a charity that you're concerned about, you can look them up on Charity Navigator. TRF earns the highest recommendation. Next. Highest recommendation from Charity Navigator. 90% of funds collected go to the recipients where they're intended to go. Only 10% goes to administration and promotion. Here are the 2020 tax records for the Rotary, so they get the highest recommendation. Next, 2020 tax records for TRF. $154 billion to defeat polio worldwide. Billion. 154 to projects selected by local Rotarians. That means our local projects. This is where our funds go to Rotarians on location who directly supervise the use of those funds and resources. And $13 billion to disaster relief, such as hurricanes, earthquakes, and Ukraine. And what happens with disaster relief funds and resources? They go not to the countries or to the governments, they go to Rotary clubs in that region. And those Rotarians then provide the relief that is needed. So now you know what the Rotary Foundation is and how it does the excellent work that it does. Thank you.
Fantastic.
John, thank you. I love the fact that everybody loves those history moments. By the way, check out John's belt. It's like a freaking American flag. It's really cool. Check that. I mean, it's just really cool. Sorry, John. Didn't mean to embarrass you, although I don't think you embarrass easy. So we're going to welcome back up Chris Dodge. I actually bought some raffle tickets. I told him when the pot got up to $500 I would do so.
The pot
As
is
usual,
over 500.
He didn't sell me the right tickets, but I will sell them right now, $20 worth for $25. Anybody wants them? Going once, going twice? Okay, Chris, all you.
All right. So they I'm going to suggest a strategy for you here, Brittany. All right, so here's the strategy. So here's the king of clubs. I'm going to put it on the top of the deck, and no matter what I do, watch. Put it right here in the middle of the deck. Tap. It's always on the top, guys. Oh, my. So no matter what I do, when I shuffle it, the strategy should be just to take the top card. If you think I'm not lying.
And I'm going to make you guys all think I'm doing magic. And take no!
All right, she picked the top card, and she took the 4 diamonds, so I never trust Chris. That's the moral of the story. But you can read your numbers. They are 152032. Who's the winner today? I have like 60 some odd bucks. Tom Licklider, yeah! You are the winner. Also, quick Happy Jackson shout out. Candy Vactor and Drew Vactor are celebrating their 53rd wedding anniversary today. And the only reason they're not at Rotary is probably because they're planning a dinner for us and they want us all to come over to their house a little bit later. So that's what I think.
I love that. Okay, we're getting ready to wind stuff down. And first up, check that out. It's Herb's Rotary Fly Fishing Wall of Fame. And I think you guys are going to really like this one that's coming up. But I will tell you that we've done quite well with this. And as you know, all the money, not all of it, but the greater portion of it is going towards our deck rink project at the Boys and Girls Club. So check this out. This is not Miles Anderson, I got to tell you. This is about Miles Anderson, but Miles didn't want to hold the fish up. So this is Michael's grandson, and there's all the details. They were doing a 4th of July weekend. They were on a houseboat at Lake Powell. He wasn't tickled about holding it up, you know, et cetera, et cetera. He got his 7-year-old cousin to do it. But anyway, he wrote a very nice check, $500 to go into that Hall of Fame fund. So thank you very much. Thank you, Miles, and thank you, Michael. The club schedule. So just take a quick gander. We're winding down. So I know I'm in trouble by having my close of administration before I'm actually in my last meeting, but that's just me. So we've got that going on the 18th. The 22nd is the final meeting. That meeting is going to be fun. If you're ever going to attend a meeting, that's the meeting you want to attend. This won't be here. There will be no podium. More on that later. And so you want to do that. A special message from Bruce Jacobs. He'd like to know if any of you might consider joining him at District Governor Anita's installation. It's a brunch at the University Marriott, 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock on Sunday, the 26th. I think we've got a note out on that already, and my guess is we'll have another one. And then finally, I think we've got an announcement on our change of administration party. Nicole, who's going to do that? You or you're going to do it? Okay, perfect. Hold on just a second. We're going to get you a mic.
That's true. Sorry. Okay, how's that?
Great.
Okay. Vicki and I have been planning, along with Dorena's help, thank you, your change. It's not the change of administration, it's the close of administration.
Change, close, get rid of verb, whatever that is. Yeah.
Pass the gavel to
Yeah.
Bruce. Yeah, so that's Saturday, the 18th of June at 6 p.m. We need to have all of our numbers in by Monday at noon. So if you could get your, go on the website and sign up that way at $70 a person. And there's going to be a cocktail hour, live music, a wonderful dinner, entertainment with Mark and Bruce. So the other important thing to remember about the Mountain Oyster Club is they don't allow cell phones. So if you have your cell phone out and they catch you, and members are there, they can be there at the bar. If anybody catches you, they buy everybody around. So they're really serious about it, and they've let us know that several times, that you can be on your phone if you're texting or answering an email. That's a lot to remember, so I'm not bringing my cell phone. So what else did I want to tell you? I think that's it. I guess just a show of hands of those of you who are already going and planning on going would be great. Fantastic. All right. Thank you.
Cool, thank you. All right, so let's wrap stuff up. So whether you're joining us in person or virtually, thank you for being here. If you like what you saw, reach out to anybody with a badge. They'll tell you more. If you want to donate to our scholarship cups, they're on the table. If you're sustaining, thank you. If you haven't gotten your Rotary pin, what's up with that? Doreen and Carrie having the back table for you. Jack, thank you for a really great presentation. Tom, Gary, and Mitch, happy birthday. John, Diana, congratulations on your Paul Harris Fellow. Great to see two fairly new members step up and do that. That's really cool. Yeah, I know. It's even cooler that I was your sponsor, so that's really great. Brittany, welcome to our club. And I just want to say to Jonathan, Jason, James, Nora, Tom, Raymond, thank you for being here today. That's an all-time high. Next week, our keynote speaker is Jim Story with the Empower Coalition. Now for our toast. Please join me. To our friends at the Tucson Conquistadores, the impact you've had on our community is amazing, long-term, and is also from the heart. Just what you've done for Boys and Girls Club over the years is worthy of extreme mention. Thank you. You are a Tucson treasure. Hear, hear. We are adjourned.
Good job. Good job.
You are? Cool.